little while, you have taken the survey about your leadership style. Now, when we have a leadership style, we kind of think everybody has the same style as us. We just think that most people will think about things in the same way. Well, after I took the test, I've taken it several times, I took the test and they have newfangled names for some of the leadership style areas. This is my result right here. Now I want to ask everyone, does that look like who I am? I know, it's a little hard to interpret there, isn't it? The highest one is affiliative, democratic, and pace setting. Affiliative, pace setting, and democratic. We all know what some of those ideas are. When you think about them all together, they make a different group of ideas, or define you or help you see yourself differently than you would generally see yourself if you compare yourself with other leaders. As I took the survey and I reviewed some of the different parts of it, I thought about when I was doing talent for the once named VTM, now named EVV, and I don't want to get called on the carpet by anyone, especially somebody who would be upset for me saying those letters, but I spent a year working on that project that we will just call the predecessor to EVV. How did these skills impact what I was doing? That's a good question. Now, maybe those of you who worked with me might think that some of my leadership skills and ways I did things were a little quiet. But I see myself as a leader. Maybe it's a little unconventional. The first skill that Toastmasters said that I have after I take that survey was affiliative. Now, those aren't my hands. Those are a picture I found, and I really, really like the picture. So what does that represent? Open hands, teamwork, harmony. Those are things that I really, really like. I like to create harmony with groups of people and focus them on having a really strong objective for where we're going. So I think the doves and the hands and the earth really nail it for me on that picture of what it means to work with teamwork and with harmony. Because for me to be in charge of a project, it's really not valuable if I'm fighting with people all the time. Sometimes I don't think of myself so much as a leader because of some of my skill sets or my perspective and my leadership are not confrontational. That would bring us to style number 2. Democratic. Now, usually when we think of democratic, we think of voting. If we're going to do something, we all get together and we have a vote. And then what happens, everyone is on board. Everyone, we pick the direction. Sometimes that is not always possible with a large project that has a lot of different people. Because when you're the leader, you have to be strategic. But when you have people on board, you want to bring them together and you want them to be democratic and a broad-based perspective on supporting that mission and making those things happen. This is something I really valued when I was working for and helping to define the predecessor of EVV. The next one, the next characteristic, is probably my favorite, and I think I identify with this the most, even though it was third ranking. What is this one? Pace setting. Now, I like to run, I'm not a sprinter, but that picture really says a lot. Pace setting. What does it mean to be a pace setter? To be a pace setter means you're out in front. You're coming up with an idea. You're encouraging the people behind you to really think about an idea and then start to change their focus. So when I was working on the predecessor for EVV, I was trying to determine how and what we could do as a group, specifically with talent, on how it would move us forward together with online clubs. I find that pace setting is something I'm still doing today. I spoke at District 48 on the weekend, and I was talking about social media, using social media to advance your careers and your Toastmaster clubs. And I realized once again that I'm pace setting. I'm setting examples for people to stretch and grow themselves. In conclusion, my project goals are creativity, new ideas, and harmony. So when I first took this project's assessment, I didn't think it really was on target. But after I researched the words and thought about some of my different projects, I thought to myself, this is probably one of the best assessments I've ever taken from Toastmasters. So I want to encourage you, if you take this project on, your what is my leadership style, I want to encourage you to really think about it and how these ideas and this information can propel you forward. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Pamela.